Hello everyone. Welcome to Magical Stocks channel, where fundamentals meet technical. The PSE index closed last year, 2020 at 7,139.71, coming from 7,813.25 last 2019. This is a minus 8.62% decline in the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. This is affected by the pandemic that started last March 2020. Though it went down to around 4,000, it managed to bounce back in June and October, closing at 7,139.71 last December 29, 2020. We'll start the 2020 summary with the top 5 dividend-paying blue chip stocks for the year 2020. Before we proceed with the dividend-paying stocks, and if you are interested in investing using our magical stocks or simply like to monitor the effectiveness of our system, please like this channel, subscribe and hit the notification button to keep you updated weekly. Let's now start with the top 5 dividend-paying blue chip stocks last year of 2020. Coming in at number 5 is MER, also known as Meralco. MER paid a cash dividend 3 times in 2020. The first two were on April 15, 2020, where it paid a special cash dividend of 5.287 pesos per share and a regular cash dividend of 5.108 pesos per share. The third dividend was released last September 15, 2020, with 4.697 pesos per share. With its closing of 292 pesos per share, the dividend yield would be 5.17% for the year 2020. Let's know Meralco. Manila Electric Company traces its origins to the Manila Electric Railroad and Light Company, which was established in 1903 to provide electric light and power and an electric street railway system to Manila and its suburbs. The company gave up its transportation business after World War II destroyed the railway system beyond rehabilitation and instead focused on providing electric service. A group of Filipino investors led by Eugenio Lopez Jr. bought the company from its American owners in 1961, making it the first major American enterprise to be Filipinized. The Lopez Group's stake in the company was reduced significantly in 2009, as a series of major transactions resulted in Manila Electric Company's partnership with the PLDT and San Miguel Groups. The company holds a congressional franchise to construct, operate, and maintain the electric distribution system in Metro Manila and certain areas in neighboring provinces, and is subject to extensive government regulation, mainly by the Energy Regulatory Commission. Our number 4 dividend-paying blue chip stock is GLO, otherwise known as Globe. It paid 4 times its cash dividend last 2020. The first payment was on March 4, 2020, amounting to 27 pesos per share. The second was on June 3, 2020, where it paid 24.83 pesos per share. On September 2, it paid its third cash dividend equivalent to 24.83 pesos per share. 31.33 pesos per share was the fourth payment last December 3, 2020. The total cash dividend given last 2020 was 107.99 pesos per share. With the share price closed at 2030, the dividend yield equals 5.32% for the year 2020. Globe Telecom was incorporated on January 15, 1935, as Globe Wireless Limited, inheriting the franchise of Robert Dollar Company to operate wireless long-distance message services in the Philippines. The company was later renamed as Globe Mackay Cable and Radio Corporation, then merged with Clavicea Radio Corporation in 1992 to form GMCR, Incorporated, a move which gave the company the capability to provide all forms of telecommunications to address the international and domestic requirements of its customers. GMCR, Incorporated, was subsequently renamed Globe Telecom, Incorporated. Coming in at number 3 is TEL, also known as PLDT. TEL paid its regular cash dividend last April 3, 2020, and September 4, 2020, which are the months where they used to pay its dividend. On April 3, they paid 39 pesos per share, and on September 4, they paid 38 pesos per share. With a total cash dividend of 77 pesos per share and closing the year with 1,340 pesos per share, its dividend yield is 5.75% for the year 2020. PLDT, formerly Philippine Long Distance Telephone Company, was incorporated on November 28, 1928, following the merger of 4 telephone companies under U.S. ownership, namely, Philippine Telephone and Telegraph Company, Cebu Telephone and Telegraph Company, Panay Telephone and Telegraph Company, and Negros Telephone and Telegraph Company. The company's corporate name was changed to its present form in 2016. In 1967, effective control of PLDT was sold by General Telephone and Electronics Corporation to a group of Filipino businessmen. In 1981, PLDT purchased substantially all of the assets and liabilities of Republic Telephone Company, which at that time was the second largest telephone company in the Philippines. Before the liberalization of the telecommunications sector in 1993, PLDT was a virtual monopoly in providing telephone service in the country. PLDT's common shares are listed and traded on the Philippine Stock Exchange, while its American depository shares are listed and traded on the New York Stock Exchange in the U.S. Coming in at number 2 is LTG, where it paid cash dividend 4 times this 2020. It paid a special cash dividend of 0.28 pesos per share and a regular cash dividend of 0.15 pesos per share on the same record date of June 8, 2020. On September 8, 2020, it also paid a special cash dividend of 0.23 pesos per share, and on December 16, it paid a regular cash dividend of 0.15 pesos per share. LTG is one of our magical stock bought in the middle of October 2020, hence, we were included in the December 16 payment. The total cash dividend payment for LTG in the year 2020 is 0.81 pesos per share, which is equivalent to 6.18% after it closed 13.1 pesos per share this 2020. LT Group was originally incorporated in 1937 as the Manila Wine Merchants, Incorporated. The company was renamed in 1995 as Asian Pacific Equity Corporation in line with the change of its primary purpose to that of a holding company, then again in 1999 as Tanduay Holdings, Incorporated, together with other amendments to its bylaws. The company's corporate name was changed to its present form after a series of restructuring activities in 2012 and 2013, which resulted in its acquisition of investments in beverages, tobacco, property development, and banking businesses belonging to Lucio C. Tan and his family and assignees. And our top dividend-paying blue chip stock is DMC. It paid a special cash dividend of 0.25 pesos per share and a regular cash dividend of 0.23 pesos per share on the record date of March 23, 2020. Closing the year with 5.66 pesos per share, its dividend yield will equal 8.48%. For those who don't know DMCI, DMCI Holdings was incorporated on March 8, 1995, as a holding company to consolidate all construction business, construction component companies, and related interests of the Consunji family. Its ownership was opened to the public through an initial public offering in the same year. Let's summarize the top 5 dividend-paying blue chip stocks for 2020. Our number 5 stock is MER or Meralco, closing 2020 at 292.0 pesos per share. They paid a 15.09 cash dividend last year, equivalent to 5.17% dividend yield. At number 4 is Glow or Globe Telecom, that closed last year at 2,030 pesos per share. They paid a total of 107.99 cash dividend last year, giving the shareholder a 5.32% dividend yield. Coming in at number 3 is TEL, also known as PLDT, who closed 2020 with 1,340 pesos per share. They paid a total of 77.0 pesos per share that yields 5.75%. At number 2 is LTG, owned by Lucio Tan, who closed 2020 at 13.1 pesos per share. They paid a total of 0.81 cash dividend, giving the shareholder a 6.18% dividend yield. Our top 1 blue chip dividend-paying stock is DMC or DMCI, closing 2020 with a 5.66 pesos per share. They paid a total of 0.48 cash dividend, giving their shareholder a huge 8.48% dividend yield. If you are a long-term trader and would invest in the stock market, it would be wise to invest in blue chip stocks that are paying a good dividend yield. That will be all for the update on the top dividend-paying blue chip stocks in 2020. Thank you for watching. In the coming days, we will be releasing a video of the top-performing blue chip stocks for the year 2020. Quote, "Never, ever argue with your trading system." Unquote. Michael Covell. See you in the next video. Have a great day ahead.